Good afternoon or good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you an envelope journal that I made. I will leave the link in the description area from the YouTuber who teaches how to do this, because I'm not going to teach you how to do it. I made a couple of adjustments for my own things that I like, or else things I didn't want to do, and also things I didn't have the supplies to do. So I like to try to make things from everything I already have on hand, basically. And I did go and search for a couple of things, which I will share with you as well. So this is made out of those envelopes that you get in the mail with the windows on it. And so here is where the window of that envelope is. So all this is an envelope that's been opened up, and then we did this, and this is done with napkins. So this is this technique, and again, I will leave the link below to the lady who teaches how to do this much better than I can, and I learned it from her. So the other thing that I want to show you about this makes for a perfect gift, but one of the things, and I made a lot of mistakes on this one, and you'll be able to see those as we go along. It's the first one I made, so of course there's going to be some mistakes, and what I wanted to share with you is it's okay to make mistakes, and you can also still make it your own, and it's okay, right? So if you're just starting out with journaling and you're trying some of these things, a lot of these ladies, when they're doing them, it looks so perfect, right? But a lot of times they're only showing you their perfect outcomes. So I'd like to show you the progress and how I learn and how we move along the journey, and the mistakes that I make along the way, as well as the triumphs and the successes. So it's kind of like what I'm all about in anything that I teach or share. Now, so this one, I'm going to share with you how I did this, and I'm not going to give you a step-by-step tutorial, of course, because that link is going to be below. But if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Just click the little subscription, and then if you want to click the little bell, that'll alert you to when I have a new video come out. This one I made very thin, and I made this for a dear friend of mine who is going to be going through chemotherapy starting in a couple of weeks, and I wanted her to bring something with her to the treatments where she could write down her feelings. So this is the closure, and this is a brad. So what I did, now the lady who teaches this does this much more professional, but so I just got a brad, and it was very hard for me to find large brads. I could only find really small ones. And if we open it up to the other side, you'll see that I just have it sitting there. Now she has hers all nicely covered up and everything. You can do that too, but I figured this is good enough. I can always put something over that if I wanted to. And then this is just like beading elastic for when you do jewelry. And this goes around like this. And then when it gets really chunky and nice and fat, you can just take it around and close it this way, like this, see? So this here is the window, and then here's a little tag, and she can put like a little scripture or something she can write on both sides. And then I have the same paper that in the inside as is on the inside of the envelope. This was lace put around here, and that's to cover up some of the mistakes of pushing back the wet napkin. You can see that in her video when she teaches you how to do that. Oh, and then at the end, I used, I just put some string and some little beads on there for the tag and tied that into a circle. You can do whatever you want to embellish that. The back is just very plain. Now what I did do for the signature, she sews hers. Now what I did do is I used, and you'll see in some of my videos, and I'll put a link to it. They're only a couple dollars on, this one I think I got at the dollar store, but I bought a whole bunch of these from Amazon, and they were only like $2 or $3. And this is like a headband. So I used this to divide, to use for my signature, because I didn't want to sew it, because I want her to be able to add more pieces of paper in here if she wants to. And also so she can move it around if she wanted to add, like in the back here, maybe she wants to add a place to put her ID card and things like that. So this is the envelope. This is what it looks like. I opened it up, And she did all these techniques, which you can see on her video. First, before we put the napkin on, I tore up pieces of old books, pieces of the paper, put them on there. Then I did some scribbly, you know, these don't say anything, but just pretend cursive around, and then some little dots around. And you can do this however you want. And then I separated the napkin. That was the important part. Separated the napkin. And this one, she's in Europe, I believe, somewhere. And so her, what they call glue over there is different than what we call glue. And she kept saying she mixed her, whatever it was, with water. And I'm like, how do you do that? So I'm thinking, what in the world is she using? So at first I thought, well, maybe it's Mod Podge. So I used the Mod Podge on this, which made it nice and thick and everything. But I found out later that all she is using is like, they call it something else over there, PVC glue or something like that. But we in America call it Elmer's glue. So it's nothing but their regular white school glue, and they mix it with some water, and then they do this. So you don't have to use the Mod Podge. It's a lot cheaper to use Elmer's glue. And I did one cover with the Elmer's glue, and I'll show you what that looks like. So this is a cover. This is just the envelope part of it that I just started. This is for another gift. And so here you can see the window. You can see that I opened up. See how I opened that up? And underneath you can see the papers with the, oops, I think it goes, nope. Oh well, doesn't matter. You'll see my writing and stuff like that, and then some other things that little circles and stuff that I did to just add some character, because otherwise it's going to be really see-through when you peel back the envelope, the napkins, and that's why. So this napkin was 3-ply, and I pulled off 2 of them and only had the 1-ply left to put down. And so I haven't, decorated, I haven't put the piece of paper on the back yet, but I wanted to show you this one was done with glue. And all I did was use Elmo's glue and a brush because it's pretty liquidy. And this is very nice. And this one's it's a little rougher, okay? This one is a little smoother with the Mod Podge. So I think it's going to depend on the kind of feel you want at the end, because this is really smooth, and you can still take this and Mod Podge over it. I could still do that if that's what I ended up, wanting to do. But it's going to look like this. See, it's one of the things she taught was that when you buy the napkins, make sure it's the same on both sides. And I love this napkin, but it's not the same on both sides. So you have one side that's right side up and the other side is upside down. But it doesn't matter because you fold the envelope. You're folding it and you can't even tell, right? Like what's there on the front. And on the back, you can tell, you might be able to tell a little bit, but it looks like it's supposed to be that way. So I'm not worried about that. The only time I would worry about that if it's really obvious. Like that doesn't matter which way the flower goes, right? Doesn't matter which way any of the stuff goes. Even if this is upside down, that's fine. The bird's the correct way though, so it's not upside down, right? And then the only thing is this bird here. But it doesn't matter. If that doesn't bother you, I still think they're beautiful napkins, and I think I'm going to use them anyway on several of these. So I'm going to making these for gifts. All right. So then for the signature, all I did was, this is the back. So I used a piece of paper that I bought from Etsy, from a shop there, and I just glued that all on. And then what you do is you take the sewing machine and you stitch this all around with a really, really tight zigzag. So it's a super, super tight zigzag so that it kind of looks all, and I kind of made a mess. See, it's crooked there. It's not perfect. The rest of the sewing came out pretty good. And then let me just take my signature out so you can see the whole signature without the envelope being in the way. So what I did was, this was another piece of paper that I got from an Etsy shop that I had bought. I had made another journal that was like this theme. So that's the first page, and then another page I just did and so you can write on the back. And then on this page here was a piece of parchment paper, which I love to use in my journals. And then here's a pocket, sort of to put some things in. Here's another piece of that same one that I had bought. This paper here is old stationery that I've had from my business from years ago. I think it was like 20 years ago. And I still have this really nice stationery thick bond paper. And here is another envelope. and then the other side of that, which is really nice to journal on. And this is a piece from one of those paper crafts that you get like at Michael's. Another piece of the stationery. This was a note cards that I found at Michael's for like 25 cents for a pack of them when they were on clearance. And so you can decorate that. This is paper that I have from homeschooling. Oops. So this is just paper that I have from homeschooling, and it's graph paper. I just put that in there. And back side was clear. This is a magazine, picture from a magazine that I used. She has a granddaughter that's about that age, so I thought that would be really nice for her. And then I glued, on the back of that magazine, I glued a piece of paper that you could journal on. And then journaling paper. And then this is from one of those paper packs that you get at Michael's and Hobby Lobby. And that is the center. So this is your center piece. So it looks really pretty. And she journal all over that. Her thoughts and everything are things she needs to remember while she's in the sessions. And then these are just the back sides of the very same papers. So it's not very thick. This is the back side of the magazine. And then there's your back side of the card. So everything is just going to be like the flipped version. And I sewed another thing there. I didn't put an envelope on this side here. And there, that's it. It's so pretty. I think it came out really, really amazing. So if you want to do these, they're very easy to do. They're quick. There's just, the thing is the first time that you do it, you have to wait. I had to wait overnight because I'm in Florida. It's very humid. So this did not dry like just in a few hours when I first did this side. So this one I waited like good 24 hours. This one I waited only a few hours. I didn't have to wait. I waited just a few hours before I sewed everything. And while I was waiting for these to dry, I worked on the signature. So you can get these done really, really quickly. So hopefully that was helpful to you. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Please subscribe and like this video, and then please subscribe to my video, to my channel, I mean, and so that you don't miss any of my videos on journaling.